Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and you're all very welcome to today's information session with ourselves, Herdwatch. Today, we're going to be covering medicines compliance and getting ready for your farm or quality assurance audit. So my name is Eoin Moloney. I'm head of customer success here at Herdwatch, and I'm also delighted to say I'm actually joined this evening by our subject matter expert at Herdwatch, Chris Goode. Chris, how are you getting on?
Good, thanks, Eoin. Looking forward to this evening's webinar.
Yeah, no, delighted to have you on board today. So both myself and Chris are going to be talking to everybody today about obviously focusing around medicines and compliance in general, and how Herdwatch can help you to, I suppose, get ready for your inspection or your quality assurance audit. So this evening's session in total will be about 30 minutes or so. As you just said there, we're going to really focus in on showing you how to record your actual medicines in the Herdwatch app and how quick and how easy that is to do. Once we have the medicines in, we'll then show you how quick and easy it is to also record your treatments for both groups or for individual animals. And Chris is going to probably spend a couple of minutes just showing you how to run your reports for your farm inspections and other things you need to be ready for your inspections themselves. As we do with all our information sessions and webinars, we're going to leave some time at the end of this evening session to answer some questions that you might have. So if you've been using Herdwatch for your medicines, or you're new to Herdwatch and you'd like to ask a question about something got to do with recording medicines or treatments, feel free to just pop your questions into the Q&A section there. Like I said, we'll leave about 10 minutes or so at the end of this evening session. Myself and Chris will try and cover as many of those questions as possible. So before we do start demoing and get into Herdwatch itself, I suppose, why should you record your medicines in Herdwatch? Chris, I suppose at this point, I'm going to just bring you in and maybe just kind of give people a quick overview of how Herdwatch can help when it comes to medicines itself.
Well, look, there's loads of benefits of using Herdwatch, but I suppose in regards to your medicine or your remedy management, there's the main reasons we say it eliminates the paperwork on the farm. So for any quality assurance scheme or cross compliance, once you have your medicines recorded in Herdwatch, you will be compliant for that. So there's no need to record your medicines any further in the book. It cuts back on the evening spent doing paperwork. It allows you to manage your remedy purchases and your usage through it, and reports are readily available from that then when your audits come around. It allows you to make better decisions, manage what medicines you're using on the farm through what's available in your cabinet. So you're able to go in and see what you should have in your cabinet on the farm and make a decision from there. It gets the job done fast, allows you then to get the job done fast. There's lists of remedies there available in the app. So if you go into the list, you can just search it, you can scan for it, or else if it's not there, we have an option that you can create as well. Keeps your farm records up to date. So in the event that you lost your phone or damaged it, all your records, once they're in the Herdwatch app, will be updated with our cloud system. So if you just download the app again, all your records will still be there. So there's never a case where you lose them.
Brilliant, thanks, Chris. So I suppose in a nutshell, it's helping to remove farm paperwork, save a lot of time and hassle, and also make better decisions on the farm. So we'll hopefully be able to demonstrate some of that through the demo over the next couple of minutes. We're kind of getting to that point already in the evening, so we're not going to waste too much time chatting. We're going to hopefully be able to show you as much of the Herdwatch app in the next few minutes as possible. So going to try and just share my screen here now. It might take a second for this to pop up, and we'll try and share the Herdwatch app on screen, and we'll get into the demo, and then we'll focus on recording a medicine purchase first, show you how quick and how easy that is to do. After that, then we will show you how to do the treatments. Okay, so we're just connected there now, I think. So Chris, you can see my phone?
Yeah, I can.
Super. So hopefully everybody can see the phone here now. Obviously, if you can't see what myself and Chris are seeing, just throw a message into the Q&A to let us know. But what we can see here at the moment is just the home screen of the Herdwatch app. So Chris, we're going to focus on how to put your medicines into the app first of all. So maybe if you wanted to give me, is there any, even yourself, Chris, at home, is there a medicine you've used on the farm recently that we could maybe demonstrate?
Albex Steron is probably the handiest start with.
Okay, so Herdwatch is very quick and easy to use to record anything. Your friend is going to be your orange plus button. Now, personally, when I'm recording medicines, I always start by clicking on the compliance icon, and then I click on my orange plus button. And then it just shows me all the relevant compliance features that I can add into the app. So you can see you have your cattle treatments, remedy purchase and movements, etc. So I'm just going to select remedy purchase. The way Herdwatch works is, in order to be able to use a medicine and to cover yourself fully for compliance, you need to enter that medicine into the app, and then you can obviously use it. So Chris, you said Albex to me there, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point you have a couple of options here. You can obviously scan the medicine in. So if your medicine has a barcode or a QR code, you can just hit on the scan icon, and that once you scan the QR code or the barcode, it'll put in a lot of details of the medicine automatically for you. Once you click into the search box, which I have here at the top, you can also use that search box to type in the name of the medicine. Chris said it at the start that we have, hundreds and hundreds of medicines preloaded into Herdwatch, but you can search through them very quickly by just typing the name at the top. You can see I have my Albex here, so I'm just going to go into 10% suspension. Now, something you might notice here straight away is the app. It's asking me, do I want to copy from a previous purchase? So this particular herd that I'm logged into, we've obviously popped the Albex in here before. So what kind of happens if that's the case, Chris, once you have a medicine in one time?
So from the first time you enter the medicine, if you input the withdrawals on it, or the treatment reason or the dose rate, it'll save it against that medicine in the app. So if you go to add another purchase for the same medicine, this message will pop up. And if you confirm it on the message, so when you press the yes there at the bottom,
so just press yes,
it brings across the information from the last time you entered the purchase. So
you can see that the meat and the milk withdrawal is already pre-populated there for us, so something we don't have to worry about. I'm just going to go back up the top here. You can see that the date of purchase has defaulted to today's date. So if this is something that was done a couple of days ago or last week, it's very quick and easy. You can just click in and you can change, the calendar to whatever date you actually purchased the medicine on. So I just picked this day last week. One thing to watch out for here, if it's your first time using Herdwatch for medicines, to get everything completed, you need to fill out the fields that have the little asterisks on them, and you can see that their color is orange. So you can see some of the fields are actually black, and the ones at the top are required for compliance, so that's why they're in orange. You need to fill those out in order to be able to save the medicine. So I need to just basically put in how much I bought. So if it was a 500 ml or 100 ml bottle, or if it was a liter, you can put in 1,000 milliliters, and where I actually bought the medicine from. So I'm just going to say I bought it in Osprey. The dose per animal per day is something that's come across as well from the previous time we bought the Albex. That can change obviously based on the animal's weight. Chris, there's something that Herdwatch helps you with here as well in terms of the dose per weight.
Yeah, so there's an advisory here on most of the medicines in the app, where we go based on the weight. So we'll give you kind of an advisory of what the dose rate should be. So you can see here for this Albex, it's advising you saying what it should be per 100 kilo for worms or for fluke and worms if you're dosing.
Yeah. So for argument's sake, if we were dosing animals that were 500 kilos, the recommended dose rate for that is actually 60 kilos. So I'm going to change that dose rate from 70 back to 60, and that's how quick and easy you can do that. So each animal that's selected here in the treatment we're going to deduct 60 mils from each animal that we give. As I said, your milk and your meat withdrawal are already pre-populated. You can obviously, if for any of our UK farmers that are watching, particularly, batch numbers and expiry dates are very important for compliance. So that's something you can enter as well. Now there is a little trick that you can use here. You can see that there's a red scan QR code button here. It's something I definitely recommend if you have the medicine to hand when you're putting this in. You can click on that scan QR code button, and that's just opening up the camera on your phone. You can see I have a bottle here or a box here, and once I scan the medicine, I'll just try it once more. Scans, and it's after picking up and entering in the batch number and the expiry date for that medicine straight away. So it's two things that you don't have to worry about. Now, as I said at the start, if you scan that medicine at the very start, it'll put in both the name of the medicine and the batch number and expiry date. And if you've ever entered a medicine before, your withdrawals will also come in. So it's reducing the amount of work you need to do to get your medicines recorded. You can also select a treatment reason here. I just clicked into it by accident there, but if you're treating animals for a specific ailment or illness, or if you're drying animals off, you can obviously select that as a treatment reason as well. So once you have all that done, you have other optional fields like costs, purchased by. These are not required, but you can obviously fill them in if you'd like. But I'm happy enough with everything I've put in there, so I'm just going to hit save. So it's telling me that's a prescription medicine. So I need to actually go back here, because for compliance, you need to have your prescribing vet selected as well. So I've just done that now, and I'm going to save again. And there's my medicine is saved. So you can see that you have your purchase description here. So the medicine itself, when we bought it, how much we bought, your withdrawal periods for meat and for milk, batch numbers, expiry dates, etc. So everything that you need is all recorded there for you. So that's how easy and how quick you can put in any medicine. And as I said at the very start as well, you need to put in your medicines to be able to create your treatment. So this is kind of the first step on the journey to becoming medicine compliant and using Herdwatch to help you for your compliance audits and inspections. I think at this point, Chris, we might actually go ahead and start creating some treatments. So do you want to maybe talk everybody through how you can create the treatments in Herdwatch?
Yeah, so it'll be the same procedure as Eoin said there when you're creating the purchase. So the orange plus button becomes your best friend when you're using the app. So if you go into the compliance section,
yeah,
and you click on the plus sign, you're able to select cattle treatment from here, and it brings up a full listings of what is available in your cabinet on the farm at that time. So you can click the option there, one for Albex and
so my Albex is obviously at the top because it's the most recent purchase. So it's ordered by date of purchase here. So because I've done the Albex in the last couple of days, that's there.
And we do have an option for the dual treatment there as well, Eoin. So if you're giving 2 treatments to the animals at the one time, rather than doing them individually, you can select the 2 treatments there.
Okay.
That is very handy for any dairy farmers that are listening here this evening. So when it comes to doing your dry offs, if you're doing a dry off with a tube and sealer, you can select the tube and sealer here in the list and do it as one treatment at a time in the app.
Perfect. So I've picked my Albex here, Chris, and pen strip. So we're going to go ahead and create the treatment and say that we're basically giving all the animals selected here, both Albex and pen strip. So as you said, you can do the 2 in 1 rather than having to create 2 separate treatments. Now, when I select next here, it's bringing me into the pen strip first. So I need to fill out, a couple of details on each medicine before it'll let me select the animal or the list of animals that I've actually treated. So administered by, just pick myself. For the pen strip, it's asking me the dose per animal per day. So put in a smaller dose right here for argument's sake of 5 ml per animal. And you can see that the milk and the meat withdrawal is shown here on this medicine because it was previously entered when we actually done the purchase record for that medicine. And it's just telling me that's for lameness in this particular instance. So I click next here, and the app just asked me then, do I want to copy across the date administered, who administered the medicine, and the treatment reason, etc. So I'm just going to continue with that. And it's actually brought me across now to the actual Albex itself. And it's preloaded that it was administered by the same person on the same date as well. So and the treatment reason has copied across as well. So we're using both the medicines for lameness in this instance. So from here then, you don't need to fill in anything else. Once all your red headings are populated, you can select next. And this is where you get to your actual animal profile screen. So obviously all your animals have synced down from Ag Food in Ireland, or BCMS got EID, or APHIS based on where you are in the UK. And it's very quick and very easy to select animals from here. So you may have a couple of options. We're actually going to do a group treatment here, but if you were just treating one sick animal, it's very quick and easy to find those animals. So you can just type in the last couple of digits of their tag number. So if I went for 775 here, it filters the animal list and I can just select that animal there very, very quickly if I wanted, or I can unselect it here. For this particular treatment, we're going to say that we were treating some of our younger stocks. So Chris, you want to maybe talk me through how would I find, to say, all my calves born this year?
So you can create your own groups on Herdwatch. So you click into the group section there on.
Yeah.
And you can have your groups pre-populated. So say if you want to select the animals there, the 16 animals on World Calves 2022. In here you can select them all if you're after dosing all of them at the one time, or else say if you select all and you want to take 1 or 2 out of it, you can click on them individually there and it'll remove them from the list.
Okay. So there's 16 animals in this list, but you can see at the bottom of the screen it's telling me that because I've unselected 2, that there's 14 animals selected in total for this treatment. So once you're happy with the animals you've selected, you can actually save this then very, very quickly and very easily. You can go back if you think you've made a mistake. You can still see, even though I've went back here, the 14 animals are still selected. Now, the reason I done that was because there might be other animals in other groups that were also treated as part of this whole treatment or dose. So Chris, is there anywhere else we can go to find lists of animals, or what's the recommendation here?
The handy thing there just to show one is a smart list option.
Okay.
In the corner. So these are pre-populated groups done by Herdwatch. So you can see here that you can find animals that are 0 to 6 months, 24 months plus, and you can also look at animals that are, say, breeding females born on farm. There's a whole selection of lists that are readily available for you. So here you can click into the list and select the animals as well, or search them individually.
Okay. As long as you're happy, you can obviously click into these lists if you wanted. As Chris said, if I clicked into 12 to 18, there's actually no animals there. So I'll go 6 to 12 and just add one of those, and it's gone up to 15, and I'm just going to hit save. And what that's going to do is it's just going to save that treatment for those 15 animals. It takes a couple of seconds, and you're fully compliant. This can all be done as well as it happens. So if you're down on farm, if you're in the shed with the animals, if they're in the crush with you, and the same with your purchase, we would recommend, like, if you're in the farm store or in your vets, try and do it on the spot, and the job is done and dusted, and you have that peace of mind that you're covered for your compliance, or when you have your inspections or an audit. So that's my treatment done for both the Albex and for the pen strip, and I can see the list. Here's my 15 animals that I've actually treated here as well. So that's pretty much all that there is to recording your treatments. Chris, I think just quickly what we might do is just move on to what do we recommend, or how do people, get ready for their actual inspection itself? How can Herdwatch help? What do they need to do when they get the phone call or the email that they have their quality assurance or farm assurance audit? Where do they go? What do they do?
Okay, so the best place to head to in the app will be your report section. So if you click into the management tile there,
yeah,
our report section's in here now under management.
Yeah,
we have a section here for Board B audit or for department inspection, and that's where you'll find all reports that are relevant to, say, your audit. So Herdwatch allows you to run, say, your medicine, your feed, your spray reports, your animal in herd reports, and your movement reports. That's all available here. So say, for argument's sake, in regards to your medicines, if you click into the Board B audit section there, one.
Yeah, and just before you go any further, Chris, obviously for some of our UK farmers that are watching this evening, or farmers in Northern Ireland, we're just logged into an Irish herd here for demo purposes, but we're fully compliant for Red Tractor as well. So if you're in the UK, when you pop in here, instead of saying Board B, it'll obviously say Red Tractor, and you're just running the exact same reports, but just the wording is slightly different. So if I want to get my actual usage report, Chris, I presume I just go to Remedy Usage Report,
yeah,
and I can go run an email. Now, if you're looking for medicines for specific dates, so if you only wanted the last 2 or 3 months, you can actually put in your from date and to date. Normally in Ireland, the Board B, for argument's sake, is an 18-month inspection. So rather than send, if you don't put in dates, it just sends you everything. So if you put in your dates, it'll just send you what was done between those 2 dates. But once you're happy with that, you just select run and email me this report, and you get an email there within 2 or 3 minutes with all your medicines attached. We actually have a couple of samples of how they look that will show you all in a couple of minutes, in terms of the sample medicine purchase report and medicine usage report as well. But it's just as easy as that, in terms of getting your reports around and being best prepared for your audit. Is there anything else, Chris, in terms of the inspection itself that we would recommend everybody do?
Well, look, say, coming up to the audit, when you run your reports, we'd advise you just to have a check over them. You might be able to see if you missed out or missed inputting a withdrawal against the treatment on the report. So then you can go back into the app, edit it, and add in the withdrawal. Just check over your batch numbers as well to make sure any of the remedy purchases or medicine purchases have a batch number against them, and it's easily identify that from the report when you run it. As well as that, look, when it comes up to the audit, we generally advise customers to print off the reports in advance of your auditor coming. They're emailed across to you, as Owen said, and it's easy to print them off. And as well as that, look, if you're stuck for a printer and you want to give us a shout, give us a few days notice, we'll be able to send them out. And look, you have your other reports then available as well in that section of the reports for the audit.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. I'm not sure. I think somebody might message about the transcribing is there as well, so we'll try and hide that out of your way. So sorry about that, everyone. But Chris, we might move on to just conscious of time, that we want to spend some time just maybe answering people's questions. So there is a couple of questions that have come in. I'm going to throw some of them at you, if that's okay, Chris. So the first one is, what do you do if you've made a mistake on either your medicine purchase or your treatment? I suppose if you put in the wrong date or selected the wrong animal, how can you rectify that?
So if you go back into the compliance section there on the home screen.
Yeah, 1 second here now. Sorry, no, just going back up. Can you still see my screen there?
Yeah, I still see the app.
Okay, so I'm going into compliance.
Go into remedies and treatments.
Remedies and treatments.
So you can see here at the top, you have 3 sections. You have cabinet, treatments, and withdrawal.
Yep.
So if you click into treatments.
So treatments at the top.
And say that treatment that we done today, it'll show 2 separate treatments there for Albex and pen strip. So if you click into one of the treatments there, just below it, only even say the one for the 22nd of September.
Yeah, sorry, I go back to this pen strip on for the 22nd of September.
Yeah. And if you just press the 3 dots at the top right hand corner.
Yep, and edit.
Edit. So here you can adjust any details, whether you want to update the withdrawals, the course of the treatment, or even add an animal to the record. You're able to do that here.
So you can see I've just changed a couple of bits here. So I've changed the treatment date, the course, the dose. So you can change everything you need to here. And once you click next, then you can obviously, if you selected the wrong animal, you can unselect and select the correct animal, and then just resave it and hit continue. So it's pretty much as easy as that. So hopefully that answered your question. Obviously, feel free to come back to us if you need anything else.
There's a question there, Eoin, from Connor in just regards to marking a medicine empty if you have a few left in it.
Okay.
So if you just go back to the cabinet, so if you go into compliance, and remedies and treatments, and in your cabinet, say if there's a treatment there, so there's that tramadol, there's 1 left. So if you click into the purchase and press the plus sign.
So I'm in the purchase now, and I just selected the plus sign here.
There's an option there to mark that as empty.
Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And you can see that it just gives you a little prompt that it's going to mark the remedy as empty. So this is obviously, I suppose, Chris, where there's maybe been a little bit of spillage over the course of the bottle that, Herdwatch might tell you there's 1 or 2 mil left when it's already been all used on farm. So that's how you can just sort that there. So hopefully that answers that question for yourself, Connor. We have a question, Chris, from Adam. So thanks for your question, Adam. He's asking if an animal has been moved off farm or died, can we still add a medicine to them retrospectively?
Yeah, so it's the same procedure if you are doing your cattle treatment or your sheep treatment. When you go into the animal selection list, open the smart list option, we have a list called moved out animals. So if you even just go into my herd at the bottom of the screen, this will be the same as what will appear when you're doing the animal selection within the treatment. If you click the smart list option in the right hand corner and the moved out list is there.
Yeah, so you can see just for yourself, Adam, that you can actually star or favorite the smart list as well. You can see that some of them don't have a star. So I suppose, especially if you're a beef farmer, you might like to see animals that have moved in and out of farm fairly regularly. So you can favorite your smart list and they'll always appear at the top. And you can just click in here. And as Chris said, you can still select the animals that have moved out as part of your treatments as well. So I hope that answers your question for you, Adam, and thanks a million. There's a question from Eoin here. It's more of a flock watch question, but obviously we're trying to cover some of that as well, Eoin. So Eoin is asking, he's used Draxon on some of his sheep, I think, Chris, but in Herdwatch, and I know this is something that's come up once or twice, and I do think it's going to be rectified. It's been classed as a cattle-only drug. So is there any way that you can get around this? I can maybe take this one, Eoin. There is a way. If you're sheep-only farming, Eoin, what I would recommend you do is, this is going to be fixed very soon in the next release of Flockwatch, that Draxon is going to be added as an approved ovine medicine as well as bovine. But for now, for you to be able to use your Draxon, when you do your purchase, and I'll actually walk you through it here on Herdwatch. So when you come into compliance, when you go plus and remedy or medicine purchase, what you've probably done here, Eoin, is you've found Draxon here, but that's only applicable to cattle at the moment. So what I would suggest you do is use this remedy not in list option, that blue button here, and select other sheep only. Pop in all the details of the actual purchase, so where you bought it, how much you bought, and just in the notes section at the bottom, just type in Draxon and save it. And when you go into your cabinet, then Eoin, that will be available to use as a medicine on your sheep, and it'll be saved as Draxon. So if you just use that for now, and in the next couple of weeks, Draxon is going to actually be added, as I said, for sheep itself. So I hope that answers your question, but feel free to come back to us, Eoin, there if it doesn't. But that should get you around that particular problem there. That was another question that had come in, Chris, is just basically how do I record or if I can find a remedy in the list, but I think I probably covered it there. So just to recap on that, when you're doing your purchase, if you go to compliance plus and medicine or remedy purchase, if you type in the name of the medicine, you can't find it, or if you scan it and you can't find it, or it's not shown for you in the list, you can just click on the remedy not in list and then select other based on whether it's for sheep or for cattle. And the important thing here is just make sure and type the name of the medicine into the notes at the bottom, because when you go into your cabinet, that's what will show. If you don't, it'll show as other medicine only, you know, so you won't be able to tell what the medicine actually is.
Just another thing to note on there while you have that screen.
Yeah.
You just go back to the remedies not on the list.
Yeah, sorry, I'll just go back in here again. So remedy purchase not in list.
For your audits, both in Ireland and the UK, or say if you have to record a dog worming or a treatment for another animal on the farm,
okay,
here we can add in that treatment. So other animals.
Okay, so
it allows you to add in, say, for a dog wormer,
okay,
that's where you go.
Perfect, thanks, Chris. I just see, Eoin, you had a second question there, but I think we've already covered that as well. So you're just asking if you're using two separate types of drugs at the same time. So I think our demo at the start, Eoin, where we selected the pen strip and the Albex together, that will apply if you're in Flockwatch as well. You can select multiple medicines and give them to your animals at the same time. Thanks for that, Eoin. So Patrick is asking, can you delete sections or tabs you don't need, declutter, tailor the app to your needs? Not at the moment, Patrick. But I'd like to, I think, Chris, you might like to hear a little bit more about what maybe Patrick's looking for. If you wouldn't mind, Patrick, if you go into the Herdwatch app itself, so on the home screen, what you can do is if you just pop into the message center in the bottom right-hand corner, maybe just type us out a little message, and Chris will be more than happy to pick that up with you and have maybe a chat with you tomorrow and try and see what exactly it is that you're looking for. And if it's something that we can do, we'll certainly look into it for you. Larry is asking here, Chris, about a vet call out. So what's the situation, or what do you do if the vet is called to treat an animal on farm?
So a vet call out in Herdwatch is doing the treatment or the treatment purchase or the remedy purchase and treatment in the one go. So if you go into compliance there on.
Yep, sorry, I'm just so popping into compliance.
Press the plus sign.
Yeah.
There's an option here for vet call out.
So you can see it's here on the left hand side, so you can select vet call out. So
you select from the list whatever the vet has prescribed for the animal.
Yeah, so if it's not in the list, as I said, we said at the very start, the best thing to do here is search for, you know, whatever medicine the vet has used. So Alamycin, for argument's sake, here, and it's asking me, was it used on cattle? And the same thing again, we've obviously used Alamycin before, so it's asking me, do I want a copy from a previous purchase? Select yes. You do need to just select here, Larry, like who administered it. So you're going to pick your vet here, the dose per animal per day. So whatever your vet has told you to dose, and obviously if the course, if he's telling you, you know, this animal needs to be treated for 2 or 3 days, you can change the course to 3 days as well. Your withdrawals are here. Select next, continue, and you can just find the sick animal or your sick cow, select it, and then save and hit OK. You do just have to select where you bought the actual medicine from as well. So once I hit save, it's prompted me again that's prescription medicine, so I might need to go back down here and just select that I got it from the vets in Roscrea and save. But it's very, very similar to the normal treatment flow, Larry, so I hope that answers your question for you. Moving on.
A few questions here on creating groups on.
Okay.
So we can do a small demo there on it. So
yeah. So you can see my screen there, Chris. You can.
Yeah, I can see it there now.
Yeah. So I'm going to go plus type. You can see group here.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just I'm actually can't even see it myself on my screen. So this is after bringing me back into my own groups.
So you select the option here to update a group. So if you just go back to step 1.
I can't actually go back here because I can't even drag across. Just see it. Okay, sorry. I think I have it here now. So I'm just going to start again. So I'm going to go plus, select group, and I'm going to actually create a group here, Chris, altogether. Is that the best thing to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to give our group a title. So we can call it, you know, cows, heifers, calves, whatever you want to call your group. Once you're happy with the name, you can select next. This brings you into the full herd list, and the best thing to do here, I suppose, Chris, is use the filters at this point to find your groups of animals. So if you click on search and then filter, you can use anything, you know, based on age, gender, breed. So, you know, you can go females here, and age, you could go anything from over 2 years, just to see how many females fall into that. And you can see that there is 123 animals in that particular filter. So I'll just select all of those and save. And that's basically my cows group created then on the app. Once you have your groups created, you can use that for your treatments or for any other records and put them against that particular group.
You know, you can edit the group the same way as you edit treatment with the 3 dots in the top right hand corner.
Yeah.
And also say if it's a group of animals that you created and have now left the herd,
yeah,
you can deactivate the group then as well, so it won't display for you. So the 3 dots in the top right hand corner is where you go for that.
Yeah, so these bulls here, if I wanted to deactivate, I can just deactivate that group, and when I go back to the groups list, they'll be gone. They won't be shown for us.
Yeah. You might have noticed there in that last group that Eoin had on display, we just had a questioning as to regards to the colours, the orange and the blue on the side.
Yeah.
So the blue is where the animal's in herd, and the orange is where the animal had left the herd. And the number that's in that circle there is the year the animal was born. So them circles on the side of the animal's tag number, blue is in herd, orange is not in herd, and the number within it is the year it was born.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. There's lots of questions coming in. Thanks everyone for your questions. We're probably not going to get to all of them this evening, but what we'd like to point out is if we don't, please do just drop us a message in the message center, and we'll reach out to you tomorrow and we'll answer any questions that you might have. We're here to help, as I said. Chris, there's one here from Charles. He's asking he'd like to record for young animals that are less than 1 month old that aren't on the list because they haven't been registered for a passport. So obviously they won't show in Herdwatch unless you create them in Herdwatch first of all, Charles. So you can use Herdwatch obviously to register the calves. Part of registering the calves is creating the animal. So you know, you select whether it's a male or female and you enter the tag number. Once you've done that, they've been created in Herdwatch, and that will allow you to then create treatments for those animals, Charles. But until you do that, or if you have registered your animals on BCMS or Ag Food, they will sync into Herdwatch. You need to have your animals in there to obviously be able to create your treatments for them. So I hope that answers that question for you. Okay, so there's a question here, Chris. Oh yeah, sorry, you've covered that. What do the blue and orange boxes mean? What do you do if all your medicines are, if all your meds are recorded, but you have a backlog of treatments to record? So that's maybe where you haven't been, or if you're new to Herdwatch, Chris, and you're trying to catch up on a couple of months of records that have happened maybe over the previous 6 months.
Yeah, so look, the best advice there is make sure, say, if you have your cabinet up to date with what you purchased, you can go through the treatment list there and then apply the treatments to the animals. You can use the filters for what animals were roughly in the herd around that time. And you can also check the moved out list as well. So if you're backdating animals there from a couple of months ago and you want to check animals that have left the herd, you can go into the moved out list and filter what animals might have left around that time that you could have that were treated. And you can also say go into your herd list and find the animals from there.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks, Chris. I think we're pretty much there. As I said, everyone, thanks a million for your questions. And if we didn't get to some of them, please do use the message center down here in the bottom right hand corner. You'll be able to drop us a message with the details. Myself or Chris or one of the team will reach out to you tomorrow, and we're happy to help answer any questions that you might have. I just want to hop back into, we have 1 or 2 little slides. There's 1 or 2 little things we'd like to just tell you about before we finish up. So just to come back here, we'd like to show you just a sample report. Chris, can you see that report on screen?
Yeah, it's back there now.
Yeah, sorry. So I know I mentioned it at the start that we were going to talk about the medicine report. So once you run your report, when you get your email, this is what it's going to look like, and it's fully compliant for your inspection. And that's your purchase report. That's your treatment report. That will obviously include all the treatment details on the 2nd and 3rd and 4th page as well, but it gives you an overview or a synopsis at the start of that report. We recommend as well, Chris, that, you know, for inspection to print the reports as well.
Yeah,
for the auditors.
And here, as Eoin was saying, look, the top of the report there kind of gives a breakdown of all the different treatments that you've given throughout the period that you put in to run the report. And then on your remedy purchase report there, I want to just went back to it there for a second.
Yeah, I'll go back up here.
Yeah, so as I said here, you can just quickly just have a glance over it, and if you notice the treatment and the withdrawal section is blank and the treatment actually deliver withdrawal, just keep a note of it there, and you can go back into the app and update it.
Yeah, perfect, because withdrawals are obviously super important for your inspections. The one other thing we wanted to mention, won't be able to demo it this evening, but you probably notice it yourself when you're on the home screen of the app. It's a pretty new icon in the bottom right hand corner, verified by Herdwatch. It's just a new platform that we've released on Herdwatch recently, which allows you, and this is open to obviously all Irish farmers, but obviously farmers in the UK as well. If you're buying or selling animals, it's somewhere where you can actually put those animals up as being listed for sale through Herdwatch as well. So the whole Herdwatch community and everybody that uses the Herdwatch app will be able to browse those listings. So if you're buying or selling animals privately, you can obviously now list those animals on the Herdwatch platform through the app itself. If you're looking to buy animals, you can browse the listings and see, is there anybody in your area that might be selling animals that you're interested in? And as I said a minute ago, if you're looking to sell, you can actually create a verified ad in Herdwatch and list those animals on the listings area. So if it's something you're doing, if you're buying or selling, or if you're looking for animals, take a look at the listings area. If you're looking to sell, as I said, try and create an ad, pop it up there, and obviously any other Herdwatch farmer will be able to see that and reach out to you. There's a lot of value there for both the buyer and the seller. Everything that goes up is obviously verified by Herdwatch. So you pick the type of animal, the way it's come across, if it's, if there's medicine records, quality assured herd, all the things that you want on your listing as a seller. And if you're potentially looking to buy animals, everything that it says is there, it's on the tin. So it's verified by Herdwatch, and you have the peace of mind of knowing that the animals are what they say on the tin, as we say. So take a look at that. If you have any questions as well on that, or you're trying to use it for the first time, pop us a message. We're more than happy to talk you through how easy that is to do. But should be a really, really handy tool for any farmers that are looking to buy or sell animals out there. And that's pretty much it for this evening's information session / webinar. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining. Hopefully you got a pretty good overview of how the medicines in particular work in Herdwatch and how it can help you for your compliance. As I said, I'll just mention it again. If there's any questions we didn't manage to get to, please do reach out to us. You can give us a call. Either the numbers are there on screen, but we recommend just popping us a message in the app and one of the team will get in touch. And just make sure you have the most up-to-date version of the app, because there's all the new updates, including verified and other things that we've been working on for the last few months. Chris, thanks a million for hopping on as well this evening.
No problem, Mo.
And you can probably see there as well, there's a refer a friend screen that's open all year round. So refer people to Herdwatch, and you always have a chance of getting your hands on some of the nice Herdwatch gear. So yeah, that's it. Listen, thanks a million, everyone. We'll see you again soon for another webinar, probably in the new year. And let us know if you need anything. Take care.